It's Wednesday, and who can you rely on when the world's at war? The answer is simple. Clearly, it's Dan and Jake.
It's not Batman.
Not Batman. I thought it was Batman.
I still think it's Batman.
Yeah.
It might be Batman in the future.
Okay, we'll see if we can get him in on stream as well.
All right.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the developer multiplayer Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah.
And, well, there's been quite a lot going on in the past few sessions. You'll notice that we don't have Soviet Union, we've got Russian Empire. We had a very sad Ilya coming down singing for us because it was all going to pot for them.
Yeah.
And now they are nothing more than a puppet of the Axis.
He did. It does get to call himself emperor, though, I guess.
Yeah, he's kind of happy that he's now the Tsar. In fact, we had a 180 on the propaganda from them saying that, you know, it was always the Tsar behind it all, and
Yes.
the Tsar rules throughout Russia. So there we go. At least he's happy, right?
Yeah. But looking at the strength levels and stuff, so basically, I mean, despite the Axis now having a puppeted Russia, Russia lost basically everything being puppeted. So they're gonna have to rebuild, whilst the Allies were actually more prepared than I thought.
Yeah, so Russia's down to 40 divisions here. Where if we look over at the likes of the UK, they've got a fair chunk. France has had a chance, and France has actually pushed into Germany a wee chunk here.
Yeah. I mean, I think Germany's... how are they doing? Probably... Yeah, they have deficiencies. So, the Axis nations probably just holding barely on now, trying to get their industry going. Because they went for that early gambit, so never really had to balloon enough.
Yeah, so the Axis did manage to push in and take over Russia, but there were a lot of losses involved in that, and Italy was really feeling the burn from that as well, quite a lot.
Yeah. And I talked to the American player, and I know he said he was going to... you know, he wanted to stay mostly out of the war, which I guess means Lend-Lease. I haven't really looked to see if he is, you know, actually going to get involved with... oh, actually, where is my observer?
You know, I think we actually managed to pop in as not observers and ended up playing as Germany.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. We seem to be having some audio delays with the stream, so if you want to sort that out, I'll restart the stream quickly at the same time.
Yeah, that might just work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a quick restart here, and then we will be right back, you guys. Hopefully that will sort out the audio issue. So see you again very soon.
Whilst we wait to get back into the game, you released a dev diary today, didn't you?
Yeah.
After you braved your way through the 16 foot of snow.
At least 16 foot. And tigers. No, it's... this diary was about autonomy, which is basically, you know, in all our other games we've got Master and Puppet. And we wanted to flesh this out and have more granularity and a bit more gameplay as well, because Jake here in particular was crying a lot earlier because he ended up Puppet in multiplayer, I think it was, and couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, I wanted to be free, man.
Yeah, no freedom
you
for you.
kept me down.
So the idea is that we split it into, what is it, 6 levels, I think?
Yeah. Going all the way from Diplo Annex to Freedom.
Yes, exactly. That means that you can, if you get someone low enough on autonomy, you can actually Diplo Annex them. Although it's not always a good idea, because there will not be your cores, so you might actually get more out of them being your puppet. Oh, is our multiplayer up now?
Yes, indeed.
Shall I type in that? Let's see where we are. Oh, there it is. So anyway, the it's kind of a tug of war. In fact, I don't have the capability to type passwords and talk at the same time.
Typing and talking is tougher than it might seem, right? There we go. This time, observer.
It's probably some kind of brain math behind that. All right, I think I'm joining in. Yes, here we go. Excellent. All right, so it's basically a tug of war between master and puppets here. So the more a master helps out a puppet, and the more a subject's helping out. they'll be able to move up and down this. Are we showing the thingy? Yes, we are. Excellent.
Yeah, oh, there we go. It's on the big
Yeah.
screen.
You
Ready up as well.
Yeah. They can move up the levels. So to go between levels, you do things like build buildings in the subject's nation, kind of keep them suppressed, and then you have to pay political power to actually move them between levels. That means that you can sit as a dominion. Even though you kind of earned your freedom, you can still sit as a dominion, because there are some really nice advantages to that. One of them is like tech sharing, for example. And it can also actually be nice when the master builds things in your nation, because they use their factories. For the lower levels, it's a bit more exploitative, and you don't necessarily want to be a subject or an integrated puppet, or even a colony, really. Usually you just get, the master gets all the good stuff while you get less of it.
Yeah, and in the dev diary, we've got the list of all the different restrictions or abilities you'll have at each level here.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. I also touched on something I'm going to go into more detail next week. That you can now recruit troops from your subjects. Let's call them subject forces or colonial troops. And but we'll talk more about that in the details for next week.
Yeah. Apparently the stream is looking and sounding good, so that's all very promising.
That's good.
So if you have anything you want to tell us, we've got our eyes on the Twitch chat here, so just tag us with @Paradox Interactive. Otherwise, we'll watch and see how our multiplayer game is going. So
yeah,
it's worth talking a bit about what our opposing side's goals are here. So the Allies, or any side here, wants to capture the capitals of their enemies here.
Yeah.
And if they take 2 of the enemy capitals plus hold Warsaw, they'll be considered the victor.
Yeah.
Now the Axis kind of have 2 out of 3 here, since they have managed to force Moscow into their Axis.
Yeah. However, though, because they are a puppet, if the Allies take out Germany, then they can do what they want with the puppet as well, and which also controls Warsaw.
Yeah, so
they're sort of both down to just taking one.
Yeah, so it's all to play for here, and we suspect that the Allies might be quite a bit weaker, but they're pushing, and the Germans are, or the Axis in total, are quite weakened thanks to their push into Russia.
Yes, most of their troops were at like half strength when they came back. I know Daniel had some pretty good divisions. I think he had like 20. Maybe not even 20, like 14 or something initially, but they were high strength and like well equipped. So. And then we have the Asian front here. So, is anything going on over here?
No, well, Philippa was rather boastful about her situation in Japan, saying like, "Oh well, you know, the others, they might die, but I'll be safe. I'll be safe over in Japan."
By the way, you're also not so.
I don't know what's going on with the observer. We'll have to check that when we're back up. But
I guess we're gonna have to watch from Germany's perspective for now.
We'll be seeing it from the German point of view, which kind of works anyway, because it'll either be glorious victory or gracious defeat. You know, in a bunker in Berlin.
Actually, if we go, no, I don't think we can. Maybe they turned off observer mode by mistake.
It's possible.
Oh well. Because you're supposed to be able to exit out and join observer, but oh well. We'll just be, we'll have less intel, I guess, on the Allies. But it looks like there's some little probing into the Raj here. The Japanese forces don't look that strong. It's on the mountains, I guess.
Well, Japan did lose out by not getting all of China for themselves. That was the payoff, or rather,
they
had to pay for getting them for free, essentially.
They puppeted them with very little tension impact to manage to get to Russia, but I think that might have backfired now. Puppet China is not as good as having all that stuff.
But I don't think Ilya in Russia has Kandra as a general anymore, do they?
Have you seen this?
Oh, the Philippines.
Yeah. American troops. And are fighting. So, I don't know if that's... Interesting. So these are puppet forces, I guess. Is America doing anything else here?
Well,
I know
America's
Australia was
still-
planning invasions, but it looks like they've been beaten back by the...
Yeah, and America's still a little low on the unit numbers they have there. Of course, Japan could do the upset. If they manage to score Washington, then that's a victory for them. I just don't think they're going to manage that, because
It's actually a good idea,
last we saw, America had a west wall of units.
Yeah. We can't look at that now, sadly, but they don't have that many units. With my intel level, it's between 40 and 69 divisions. Japan's got like 200. I guess a lot of that is weaker forces, though. But yeah, there seem to be invasions and things going on here. I don't know if they're gonna do very much with the few forces they have.
We've got a question about how the new system, I'm assuming they mean the autonomy system, how it will interact with the occupation system.
It won't very much.
Not
However, we've done a lot of improvements to the garrison order now, so you can tell it to suppress much more effectively.
That's true. I think we did talk about the garrison order before, didn't we? Didn't we?
Maybe not. It was in the first diary, so
Yeah, well, if it was in the diary, we can talk about it all we want, so.
yeah, it was in the first one. I can't show it, sadly, because that would mean, since I'm co-oping it, Carl's Nation here, I would be he might not like that. But the idea is that you can configure, and I recommend going back and reading the first diary. But you can configure the order, so you can say what particular things you're interested in. So you could, if you want to, just go resistance purging, and it's going to calculate how many divisions you need. So that's quite useful based on what you already added.
So if we took the Germans line across here, we could tell them, just take the ports, for example.
Yeah,
just defend
exactly.
the
So
ports.
there's both one for ports and for coastal areas, because you might want to prioritize it differently. Hungary declare war on the Bohemian Empire. Hungary is not a player. Interesting. Wonder how will the Axis... Oh, I guess got my answer.
No, they're going to go and crush. Well, you know, sometimes the.
Yeah. I mean, did they really have the
Sometimes food just
forces
arrives.
to spread in there? I guess
Well,
Russia can...
Hungary has quite a lot of units here, actually.
Yeah. They do, actually.
In fact,
And
looking at Hungary, they got
Romania-
40 to 71 units, so and they joined the Allies on top of that. So
That might be a tough one now. How fast is Ilya expanding? So how much did he have at the start? Like 20 divisions?
he had 40 at the start of this one. He's actually gone down, so I
Oh.
wonder what he's done with them there. But of course,
Yeah.
when he started out with Russian Empire, he had nothing essentially.
Yeah. There are still allies. They will not call in Japan. I guess there's no point calling Japan into that war.
Well, Japan looks out for Japanese interests in this
Yeah.
game, I think.
Now there's Turkey can actually be called in here.
Did Turkey end up in a player's hands? Oh, they did.
Yeah, they're in the
did.
Axis.
Okay.
So yeah, and they're actually
I saw
they're
a-
actually being there's some fighting with the French here near Damascus.
I saw a sneaky little message in the chat just before we started this, where Paladin was asking, "Anyone mind if I sneak into Turkey?" And I think
Yeah.
only Chris caught up on that and went, "Yeah, I mind." But in they went anyway.
Yeah. So someone was asking what happened to the USSR, and well, they got puppeted.
They
in-
joined the Axis.
Yes, it was a long-term plot by the Tsar apparently.
Yeah, it was planned all along. Yeah, the whole workers thing
Yeah.
didn't pan out.
No.
Italy's getting a little ravaged here, though. The Allies are
Yeah.
pushing and pushing, but then the
I think-
Italians are still so exhausted from the last war.
Yeah, they're the ones I think ended up having to take the toughest fight. So they were really weak. Germany was okay. Romania, I think, was really struggling as well.
I
But-
do think the Allies are pushing. I think they've managed to creep in through Westfall a bit more and more.
Yeah. Looks like at least there's a planned counteroffensive here. Yeah. It doesn't seem to... Yeah, they're closing in on Frankfurt, right?
Frankfurt, yeah, in fact, they are just adjacent to it. Looks like there's battles going on there in addition.
There are actually some American expeditionaries. I see 2, 3 divisions here. 4, 5 actually. Motorized ones.
I can't remember if we had any early polls. Maybe Anders can remember about who our viewers thought would win out of the Axis, the Allies, and the Comintern.
I honestly don't remember, but I think it was pretty heavily Axis early, which wasn't that surprising considering what they did at the start.
Well, judging by how Italy's going, there might be an upset there. Might even be worth throwing out another one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to be voting that the Comintern is looking like the one to win all this.
Well, the thing is though, if we're playing the expansion already, then I mean it's not impossible.
You know, you're going to be getting a lot of people excited when talking about the expansion. When can they expect to see some of it in action?
Oh, what have we said date-wise? I think it's the end of the month kind of thing. But we might see some earlier. It's not exactly decided yet.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
But there are plans ready to be set in motion so people can actually see it being played ahead of time. Well, there we go. Well, so much for Hungary's attempt there.
Yeah. There's actually quite a bit of Russian troops here now. So he's still 32.
Well, at this point, I think the Axis want just about anything they can get because this line isn't going so hot. Once the Allies managed to cross the river, things started going considerably better for them.
Yes, that river's actually, well, yeah, it's a big river, so. Still, though, there's quite a lot of divisions here. I'm surprised they're not trying to some like invasions up here. If you look at, have they actually closed down the sea here?
Not at Danzig, at least. I guess they are stretched really thin. I think the Germans are taking a wee bit. But
yeah, see, they haven't taken Denmark, so...
Do I see this right? The Germans have a naval invasion plan into Britain?
Ooh. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, because considering we have Daniel over in Britain, I think he would crush any such invasion, but we shall see. Because it could be that the UK have ended up committing all of their troops, or most of their troops, to the mainland fight here.
Yeah, it looks like actually it can be activated too. But it might be because I'm co-oping here that I can't see the proper stuff.
Well, this is where we just jump in and help them by doing their invasions for them. Don't think they would have the naval power to get in there unscathed.
No. I mean, the British Navy is fighting stuff here, so it really should be in this area. Maybe you forgot I fixed that bug.
Which bug?
The bug where if you tie up the fleet, there is no naval
supremacy. you just sneak your way in.
Yeah, so you send some suicide submarines. But no, Carl should know that. Let's see what Germany is doing otherwise. So they got Schnell divisions here with a fort. Feel for my role-playiness, they really should. Actually, they are. So they are basically occupation management. I'm not sure why they feel they need so many. Maybe they just need to fill all the holes.
Speaking of buildings, I don't think we really touched on the one of the end parts of the dev diary here, where building in your subjects is going to have an effect on it.
Yeah, so as I said, the way you kind of affect the levels is it's kind of like a race in doing helpful things to each other. So what a master can do is they can build in the subjects, which lowers their autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
Although there's a bit of a trade-off, because long term, if you build up their industry, they're going to build a lot of troops and then become free that way instead. So, I mean, the game is not really set up to keep people suppressed forever.
But you still want them on your side long enough to see through the war. So.
Yeah. And I mean, smaller nations will not really get their freedom for the war. Some of the bigger ones, it's going to be very hard to keep out.
Yeah, because the subjects that Britain has at the start, they start on different levels here. So you've got the Dominion of South Africa, for example,
Yeah,
and British Raj being
a colony.
Colony.
Yes. So they're in a worse position than the other dominions.
I've added the picture to the screen.
Oh,
so
oh,
it's
great.
it's
Wonderful.
looking slightly wonky since it's a screen grab from the game that we're
Wow,
playing.
it's like
But hopefully everyone can understand what's going on.
yeah, it's interesting. Yes. So what you're looking at here is the manage subject screen for the master, so which will be Britain here. So you can see all of their subjects, and you can see the bar is slightly different on different nations here. New Zealand is slightly less freedomy than some of the other dominions,
Yeah.
for example.
But British Malaya is going to have a rough time because integrated puppet is just a stone's throw away from being diplo-annexed.
Yeah, that's the little gravestone icon there. So yeah, they also can't really. I mean, I'm not sure if Britain wants to waste the resources building it up just to annex them, though. But, that would be up here. I don't think there's a. Well, they don't have that many slots and stuff.
Need that rubber though.
Yes. Yeah, on integrated you can basically trade. You can trade past trade laws for some of these, and it depends on what level really. So the more exploity levels, like it integrated, you can basically take everything, no matter what trade laws you've set.
So a question coming in from Zingis here is they're asking if this is only for the Allies, or let's say the Soviet Union gets lots of puppets, will it be for them?
This works for everybody. So the levels are for everybody who has bought the expansion. I mean, as you create puppets, they can move in any direction. So there's no way to create dominions straight up, as say Russia.
Okay, well, so if you create somebody, they will be out as a puppet, and then they might.
Yeah,
might
and then you have to
become more
work them down,
integrated.
or they have to work their way up.
Okay. But yeah, I think the main question there was: is this just something you're going to see as the UK, or if you go on a puppet spree as Russia, or I don't know, Sweden?
Yeah, no, you'll see it. You'll see it most though as UK and the other Commonwealth nations, because they have, the Commonwealth nations have focus trees that has a lot of extra effects for this kind of stuff, and
Plus, they start out in that relationship too.
Yeah.
So.
so how's Italy doing here? Looks like they're still holding.
Magical Magikarp says, "What will this expansion be called?"
Together for victory.
We had our I was going to say launch trailer, but it wasn't launch when it was the
It was a teaser
yeah
trailer.
teaser trailer. Just
We've had
It's
a
a mood trailer.
mood. Okay,
yeah,
that's
the mood trailer.
That's the industry term then.
yes.
To
Yeah,
get you,
so
get you in the mood.
I'm trying to go with names that are like old slogans from the war. So Together for Victory was something printed on a lot of like propaganda posters for the Allies to join up and help. And I think, what did we have? The Polish one had a good one as well. No, I don't remember. United and Ready, I think it was.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
it.
Luckily, we had like 3 people at the company who speak Polish, so I could get them to translate posters.
In fact, we just had the mood trailer posted there in the Twitch chat, so worth checking out, I'd say.
Yeah.
We should apparently add the USA to the UK's Dominion list.
In fact, that was one thing that I, in slightly intoxicated, wrote down as a to-do list. That you should be able to force them to be a Dominion again. But it's not something we've had time to do. I would love to write an event for it, though.
Much as we would like to make the United States Great Britain again, it'll have to come another day.
I guess you could do an event when they're about to lose. They could ask, like, please help.
They get the version of the French-UK union, but it's the USA being pushed back and go, oh, please, we'll give it all back. You can have your tea again.
Yes. But it really looks like Germany is kind of sacrificing the submarines here. It's not doing very well. We just lost 3 of them.
Yeah, they managed to take down a couple of Ooh, well.
I wonder how defended Britain is now. It says.
Well, that's the wondrous thing. We can't actually see under Britain now
Yeah.
since we are over in the Reich.
You know, we could always ask their press officer.
Capital idea there. Why don't we
That is a great idea.
poke them with a message and say, how are things looking on the old island?
Let's see what we can do.
Oh, interesting. Did you notice how many they have managed to encircle here in Florence?
Yeah, I was looking at Florence earlier. They were making an effort to cut them off from their port, and now these guys are
This
doomed
is gonna
unless they
hurt.
break through.
8 of these divisions. They're pretty expensive, if I remember correctly. It's a lot of artillery.
Oh yeah, because Daniel loves the artillery, so
Yes.
bang goes
Ever
some of those.
since he got beaten in multiplayer by some guy, he loves artillery.
We're being asked if there are any communism states left in the game. There is the bastion, the cradle of communism itself, Tanatuva,
Yes,
still independent.
the leader of the Comintern.
Yes.
Okay, it
keeping
seems
me high.
like we have a at least decently secure connection to the allies over there on the other side of the pond. So let's see what. Well, let's see if we can connect here. Daniel.
Greetings, greetings.
Welcome.
Yes, Daniel, I don't think we're being
You.
tapped by the despicable Russian Empire, so you should be free to talk about how things are looking for the UK and indeed that impressive push into Italy.
Yeah.
We are kind of busy there, right? We just freed the encirclement.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Wow.
I'm slightly sad. I was rooting for
I was impressed by the
Yeah.
encirclement, but
Bastard.
well,
in fact,
it's
now
not
the tables have
it's not-
turned.
yeah.
It's all
Oh,
about
no.
Florence.
No, they got out of it.
Yep,
The-
we pulled back.
they were
we just-
actually saved by a Russian division,
Free
if I saw it correctly.
We said if we manage to get a free way, just pull back from there and we will regroup. So, did you see that we take Livorno? So we can just pull back instantly and press on Genoa to retreat back there. Which I recommend the French player do that too.
Yeah, they might want to get on that.
He's sitting
Yeah.
beside me, so I'm just speaking a bit louder so he can hear me too.
Yeah.
Please wait until my divisions has arrived.
So we've actually joined in, and we're actually playing as German Reich, so we can't
Yeah.
actually see the full
So,
details
pull
of your
back now.
nation.
Although, if you bribe me a lot, I could be deleting divisions right now.
That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair.
No, we're all about playing fair in this office.
Yeah.
Totally. So how is it going on your side? Maybe you can give me some info.
No.
No. Like I said, you'd have to pay for that.
Very
But
sneaky.
we have a question coming in asking how your manpower is doing over there in the UK. You still got plenty of young to serve?
I have 850,000, and I'm only on extensive.
Into the trenches.
Wow. I noticed there's a whole bunch of bombing going on in Italy here. Is that you or France?
It's both of us.
Ah, okay.
We basically have all the air superiority we possibly may need. Seems like your air force isn't that well developed.
Our Air Force.
Our effort.
No.
We are the independent adjudicators here.
Yeah, it's looking pretty red here when I'm looking around. Well, Western Poland is still okay.
I'm
You're
they'll-
bragging about Western Poland.
I'm sure
Yes.
they'll get to it.
Yeah. Well, actually, here is a.
Tell you, your French buddies over in Livorno, though.
What's with them?
I don't know. You think you're gonna hold out there? There's the Italians have managed to spring up a lot of units.
Yeah. And I mean, have you looked at Africa as well?
Yeah, who cares about Africa?
There is some Turkish expansion going on down here.
Yeah, but come on, it's Africa.
I don't want to.
Desert.
I
They want my desert and attrition, they can have it.
But all that sweet attrition.
Yeah, we haven't found
Yeah.
the oil over in Libya yet, have we?
Yeah. So what's the plan? In the east here is the Raj seem to be holding back.
Yeah,
Is there gonna be any push?
holding back and pushing in. Since it seems like the Japanese divisions there are very much no equipment, no organization, they're just meat and a
Yeah.
trick force. to
Yeah.
pretend like they have units there.
I think so. Oh, Australia seems to be invading Truk here.
Yeah, we
I
are.
think this is
we
the
are making
second
some-
attempt. This one seems to be doing a bit better, actually.
We are having our smaller
Although
friends around the world do harassment tactics.
Yes. You might suggest
I've-
not using cavalry because the naval penalty is really bad.
Wait, they attacking with cavalry.
Yes.
They need to
Come
give them
on.
a sporting chance. It is Chris after all.
And it is Australia. They don't have that many troops.
Well, I have to get back to the game.
All right.
But perhaps you can leave us with a little quip about how the Allies are going to lead us to victory here.
Yeah.
Or maybe he won't. Maybe he just wants to run
He
off.
ran away. I think
He's
he
still
might
here.
be.
He can hear us.
Can you hear us? So, what's the plan here? All right. What are you gonna take to get the, because you remember you need to take the German capital and Warsaw.
We are gonna bring down their allies and then crush Germany when they're all alone, surrounded.
Aww.
Brutal. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay, he's gone now.
Yeah.
He's gone now.
All right, look at this. They have stopped their invasion plans for Britain now, and they're
they're
looking
planning
at taking
6-hour
out Denmark
a
instead.
6-hour war against Denmark. Should be fine.
Wasn't it like 52 minutes?
Surrendering in record time. They were doing a speed run on surrendering.
Yes, I'll have to apologize for my sniffling. By the way, it's autumny. Well, I guess it's winter now.
Yeah. Well, hey, I was just as bad last week. And then some.
Goes in waves.
This is what happens when you have to trudge through so much snow to get to work. Uphill both
Yeah.
ways.
Every time. We're basically living in one of those circular. It's called wheel worlds. Right. But yeah, it looks like Oh, now I know why Daniel was so busy.
Did he get... Yeah, they got
They got
crushed.
booted back, actually. It's interesting. Maybe the... it's hard to tell, actually. I think the Axis is still weakish here.
Then again, Italy have summed up 160 divisions. And they are also only on extensive, so when Daniel was making his claims that, oh yeah, we're just on extensive, well, so is Italy. So is Germany.
Yeah. I mean, I love that Germany is seriously pumping out heavy tank destroyers.
Yeah, I saw that in production as well.
I don't know if that's actually helping, like, if Daniel doesn't have anti-tank guns.
Yeah, anti-tank would have the piercing to get through heavy
I also
tank destroyer, right?
realized just now that Japan has actually sent a lot of support forces. Maybe that's what swinged it. I don't know if I saw them before.
Japanese support.
Yeah, so that would explain possibly why, this is probably just a diversionary maneuver here with the Raj, as he said. So that they could move most of the forces. Manila has fallen.
Oh man.